Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Now, today I thought I'd do another review of the 2004 Ertl Jock. Jock was actually first introduced in book 34 of the Railway series called Jock the New Engine, and book number 3 out of 4 called Jock. Now, how Jock actually first got his name was when Douglas first saw him, his color reminded him of his days back in Scotland, and they just so happened to call him Jocks. The small controller actually thought this was a good name for him, and Jock agreed, and so that's how Jock got his name. And I personally think that's pretty cool, actually. Now, I actually don't own the packaging of the Ertl Jock, but I can still read the back description of what it says. And it says, Jock was built to help Rex, Bert, and Mike carry all the passengers on the Arsdale Railway. He is stronger than the other engines, and people come to the railway just to see him. Now that's actually a pretty good description of Jock. So Ertl did something pretty good there. Now, people would have a favorite in their collection mostly because it's nicely detailed, or it's rare. Well, for me, it's both. Because this Jock is actually a pretty nicely detailed model, and according to the bottom, it was made in 2004, which was the last year Ertl was making Ertl trains. And his model just so happened to be the last Ertl model ever made, and that makes him pretty rare, to be honest. But I wouldn't go as far as saying that he is the rarest item in the Ertl range. How this item was introduced to me was when I was watching this YouTube video where a guy made up a story about Jock when he worked on the narrow gauge railway, and I actually thought he was a pretty nice model, and I actually wanted the model, and it was honestly kind of hard for me to get since it was made exclusively in the UK, and it was pretty expensive. But about 5 or 6 years ago, I was wandering on eBay, and I just so happened to find an Ertl Jock, and it also came with this book, and all of that was worth 35 bucks, and I thought that was a pretty big deal, and a pretty good deal as well. I didn't hesitate for 1 second. I bought it as soon as possible, and about 5 days later, it came, and I'm pretty happy. Now, I think this model is pretty accurate to the illustrations of the Railway series, other than the tender though, because it's kind of shaped like Gordon and Henry's on the Ertl item, when really it's shaped more like of a square kind of tender, according to the illustrations right here. And the side rods, I guess, are pretty accurate too. But, I don't know. And the face is pretty okay. I mean, I don't think it's really accurate to the Railway series illustrations, but yet again, most faces aren't really that accurate to their Railway series counterparts. And you're also probably wondering about the chips too. Well, I bought this item used, and it actually came with all 3 of those chips. And honestly, it's pretty common to see Jocks and O's get chipped. And I also think the materials of the faces change on the Ertl items. You see Thomas to the left, and Jock to the right. I'm pretty sure that their faces were made from different materials. And you know, I think this material is pretty more easily to chip up, as it's evident on this Ertl item. And if we actually have a few chips on this Thomas item, it wouldn't be as bad as Jock's chips right here. Alright everyone, now let's do a size comparison. First, let's start out with Thomas. Now, I personally think that Jock and Thomas are about the same size, and that's pretty funny because Jock is supposed to be one of the smallest engines on Sir Topham Hatt's railway. And here's Duck. Now, Jock is slightly taller than Duck, which is also pretty funny because of what I just said when I compared Thomas to Jock. And here's Arthur, another 2004 item. Now, both Jock and Arthur actually Arthur's taller than Jock, and Thomas is shorter than Arthur, But I think most 2004 items from the Ertl range, actually 2002 through 2004, the items made exclusively in the UK, I think they made all those slightly taller than the engines that were previously made. Excuse me. But as I was saying, I think the 2002 through 2004 models of the Ertl range, I think they made them slightly taller than all the old all the all the old Ertl items. Anyway, that is my Ertl Jock review. Thank you so much for watching. Take care, please subscribe, and check out my other videos.